Welcome to episode number 11. Ace is here with me. He's chasing something in this cave behind me, but he's here helping me do the opening. But guys, this week we're talking about some fawn care. We got a couple fawns. One fawn that had some E. coli issues is what we're thinking it is. Just from our guesses and the experience we've had before, we're thinking that's what it is. But treated for diarrhea, basically. We'll show you what we do, how we treat it, the medicines we give. You got to remember, every farm's different. Every strand of E. coli is different. Every strand of I could go on and name issues all day long with deer, but every farm's different. So just because I give it to my deer doesn't mean it's going to work on my farm even next week, much less your farm. So sit back, watch. We'll do a little bit of that. I can't even remember what all we do in this episode, but hopefully you'll enjoy. Guys, let us know. Let us know what you like. We'll keep doing these as long as you keep asking us to do them. Just tell us what you like, what you don't like, if it's boring, if it's not boring, if you enjoy it, if you don't enjoy it. Sit back, enjoy, watch what happens this week. This little fawn's got E. coli, so we went ahead and pulled it. It had some fly eggs on it, so we're pulling it out. We're going to give it a bath with Dawn dishwashing liquid, and that'll kill most of the fly eggs. Try to get every one of them off that we can see. Clean him up and turn him back out to his mama. We pulled a stool sample of, you can see the yellow runny. We're guessing it's probably E. coli. So we're going to send this into Newport Labs and let them run a culture on it and put these isolates for this E. coli into our vaccine that we have for our farm. So we'll have a vaccine for this strand of E. coli or whatever. We also, while we were out there, we caught a fawn that, if you'll bear with me 2 seconds. Where did you put that? Okay. In the fridge here, we have got excuse the moving around a lot, guys, but we pulled this out. Marty, here, film a video for me. So this little culture tube or swab that they'll send to you. You take that swab it around in the deer's jaw. This deer had a fusobacterium. Looks a lot like lumpy jaw in cattle. Swabbed it around real good in the back of his jaw around where the knots were. Put this in. We will overnight both of these to Newport Labs. They will put this fusobacterium isolate and the E. coli isolate into our vaccine that we do for our farm. So just one more way building up the immunity for the diseases we have on our farm or any kind of issues we have on our farm. It keeps everything good and healthy. So it just seems like it's a never-ending battle. You know, you've always got something going on. So, all right, why don't you show him cleaning it up and turn her over. Put her over here on the bench. So what Nick's doing is, can you get a good view? Nick is shaving it. They had some fly eggs on it, so we're going to go ahead and shave that off. Make sure we get every one of those fly eggs. One maggot larva or whatever, fly larva, get in there. It'll dig a hole in that fawn and get up in its up under its skin, get in its bloodstream, and it'll kill that fawn. So those maggots they're pretty detrimental. I don't know what it is about. It's something about getting into that blood system, but a toxin they give off that it will kill a fawn in a heartbeat. So, I really don't like doing this in the heat of the day, but we didn't have a choice. It's E. coli. If you don't catch it at very, very first, when you first start seeing it, usually these deer are dead within hours. So they check underneath. They'll check underneath in between their feet. A lot of times the fly will get into there. They get into especially into here's a whole bunch right here. Yeah, I gotta clean them again. Okay. In their hocks, gets in their hocks really good. So we're gonna
keep this fawn in. The flies, if we put her back out there, the flies are just going to get right back on her. I think it is a she, isn't it?
Yeah.
I keep calling her a she, but the flies are going to get back on her, so she's not going to have a chance with the maggots and everything. So we'll probably keep her in here today, put some IV fluids on her. We've already given, well, no, I guess we haven't given her all her medicine. We're going to give her a polyserum and probably a C&D antitoxin, just in case it's not E. coli. And she's got I heard the guys talking about the belly's full, so they'll probably give her a little C&D antitoxin just in case it's some sort of Clostridium or something like that. But what antibiotic are you giving for E. coli now? Seem to be working, Nick. New-Flor, back to New-Flor. So, you know, we've in this E. coli and different drugs all together, animals get resistance to the antibiotics, just like people or something like that. So we'll get a New-Flor, used to be our drug of choice on our farm, and worked really good. It stopped working as well, so we went to other antibiotics. It's turned back around, and now we're kind of seeing New-Flor's working on the even fusobacterians, and so different. So you have to. Every farm's different, is what I'm getting at. Just because we try antibiotic and it works on our farm, that antibiotic might not work on our farm next week, and it might not work on your farm. So. This right here is our probiotic paste. Have you got anything else in this, Nick, or is it just our probiotics?
Yogurt and Clostridium.
You what?
Colostrum.
You do have a little colostrum in this, which I don't know if colostrum helps a lot this time of year, but Nick said he's using it up. He's got it here. He's using it, so he's got it. We've mixed a little bit of yogurt in with this this probiotic paste, in with the colostrum, and then put it into our probiotic paste. We use a Game Saver probiotic paste. It seems to work really well. Back, gosh, 10 years ago, I don't know, Nick, was it before you got on the ranch that we tried all those different probiotics? Just when you first started, wasn't it?
About 2 years in.
Yeah, so probably 8 years ago or so, we tried 4 or 5 different probiotic paste on fawns. We'd try all 5 of them in each pen. It was just a rotational basis and kept up with who and what animals got what. At the end of the year, we had a better success rate with fawn staying alive with the Game Saver probiotic. So we've stuck with it over the years. Not saying we won't try another probiotic, but just hadn't found one right now that we trusted enough to try. So he's mixing up a little electrolytes for this fawn. It's a little bit, you can look right here and see his temples here. She's a little bit dehydrated. So he's going to give her some electrolytes, and he's going to tube her, put a tube down her stomach, give her some electrolytes. What else you put in there, Nick?
It's Imodium AD.
A little Imodium AD too. So just to stop the runs a little bit. So you get in there and see that. You see him do that. Nick puts it down the throat of the fawn. I prefer the nose. I feel a little bit more comfortable. It's just a comfort issue. You know, the main thing is just not to get it in the lungs and then pump that fluids into the lungs. You'll lose them immediately if you do that. But as long as you go down either way, I've done both. Nick, like I said, he prefers the down the throat. He's going to take that syringe and he's going to pull back. If he gets pressure, he knows he's in the stomach. If he gets air, he knows he's in the lungs. So he'll double check it, make sure the tube hadn't twisted back up and came back out and got somewhere it's not supposed to be. But it looks like he's in pretty good shape. That tube's down in the belly, so he'll go ahead and pull up his electrolytes and put it down that. You really want to watch. You can see that deer chewing. You want to make sure she doesn't get that tube in the back while she's chewing. You kind of hold on to her. She's not doing it too bad, but if she chews too much, she'll put a hole in that tube right there as it goes down her throat, and some of those fluids can get into the lungs. So she wasn't chewing too bad. So he's gonna just give her some electrolytes right down in her belly and feed her real good, and that'll get her good going. And that has some dextrose. Does that have some dextrose in it?
Yeah.
In the that's just the sugar. Give her a little energy in those electrolytes. So hopefully she'll feel better by tonight. We'll put her back out, and Mama will take good care of her. So, she's in pretty good shape. Nick caught this early. That's why we walk our pens twice a day this time of year, checking to make sure there's nothing wrong with them. This one's got pretty good energy. You can see her ears are up, perky, and she's doing pretty good. A lot of times it doesn't take hours, and I mean those animals will go downhill so fast that you can't save them. So I think he's got this one early enough. He's got a good shot at saving this animal right here. She's just as content as she can be. She's cooperating really well. Some of them don't cooperate this much, and that tells me she doesn't feel real good. Normally we put a little bit of IV and put IV on them and drop. I don't think she's bad enough to, and Nick doesn't think she's bad enough to give her an IV. He made the comment that he's afraid she hit overhydrate her. So we're going to just leave her alone and see if those fluids on her belly will get her up and going and make her feel better. And hopefully, like I said, by tonight, whenever the flies go away, we'll turn her loose with Mama. And by tomorrow morning, she'll be good to go. And Mama can keep up with all the poop issues and the fly issues, and she'll be good to go. I'm playing Tarzan today. Oh! Hope you enjoyed this week's show. We will see you next week.